Hi everyone. Do you also unreasonably get excited about adaptations of your favorite books that you know will probably be a disappointment, but it doesn't matter, you keep being excited anyway? Same. I just finished Pachinko, which I've talked about in another video, and there is an adaptation of Pachinko right now on Apple TV. I've heard that it's good, but that it doesn't necessarily follow the book that closely, which is okay with me if the show is still good, so I'm still willing to give it a chance. We'll see how it goes. But that started me thinking about what other books that I've loved are coming to the screen, either big or little screen. And so here's a list of what's coming. So first is 100 Years of Solitude. It is being released imminently on Netflix. I'm actually not sure of the release date. It's very, very soon. As I've said, I loved this book. I don't remember a lot of the plot, but I do remember the characters, which as many shared the same name, were kind of hard to tell apart. But then the show could be really good in that regard, like letting the characters shine. So I will be excited to give that one a try. I hope it's good. We'll see. Next up is Wicked. Now, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know because you don't live under a rock and you know that Wicked is coming out. This is an adaptation of the musical, which is fine. It's great. I'm very excited to see it. I'm excited about the casting. Jonathan Bailey. I mean, hi. But the musical is already a humongous departure from the book, but it actually is kind of funny. Gregory Maguire was perfectly happy with the adaptation that the musical was, and actually would go to the musical and like tell kids in the audience, like, don't read the book because the book is very dark and it's much more adult. And so I'm just here to tell you, if you like that story, if you're interested in it and you haven't read his actual book of it, it's really good. It is dark. Yeah, it's very different, but it's really good. I've actually read his entire canon. I liked all of it, but Wicked is probably my favorite. Next up is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. As I've said in my last video, this will probably be my favorite book of the year, and it's being made into a movie to be released in 2026 by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who did the Lego movies, and starring Ryan Gosling, and also Sandra Hüller. I don't know. Yeah. She's apparently amazing. Anatomy of a Fall, I think she was in. I await this movie with breath that is bated. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this one. Next up is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is going to be a series. There's no release date as of yet for the series, but it has a full cast, and the first episode at least has been shot. Emily Allen Lind is playing Cadence, which seems ironic considering the role she had in the recent Ghostbusters movie. That's all I'll say about that, but this could be good. Next up is The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles. I really loved this book. I've mentioned it, I think, a few times in here, but I haven't really talked about the plot. It's a great Odyssean adventure with phenomenal characters that you just fall in love with. I didn't know it is being adapted into a film with Christopher Storer as the writer and director, and he's responsible for The Bear and Rami on Hulu, which if you haven't watched Rami, that show was stellar. And also the movie Eighth Grade, which I loved. I think he is a great person to make this movie, and I am very excited about it. Next up is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. You guys, if you've seen my other videos, you know how I feel about this book. And Sally Field. Sally freaking Field. Again, my breath is bated. There's no release date on this as of yet, so we'll have to see, but it seems like it's well on its way. Next up is Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. Again, there's no release date, but it has a director, Jan Dimanche, and a star, Riz Ahmed, which if you've not watched the miniseries The Night of, I don't hear nearly enough people talk about it for as good as it was. It is amazing. Go watch that while you're waiting for Exit West, because I'm excited about that one. Next up is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is apparently going to be a series on HBO. There's no cast attached yet, but the writers, which does include Madeline Miller herself, which is great, are Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, who are both the writers of the Planet of the Apes movies and also Jurassic World and Avatar: The Way of Water. So they're pretty good. Let's see. Next up is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. You know I love me some Alice Feeney. If you like a thriller with twists that actually surprise you with characters that you love to mistrust, Alice Feeney's your girl. This one is supposed to be a series, and there is no release date, but there is a star attached, and it's Tessa Thompson. So, yes. I also saw that Sometimes I Lie has also been optioned, but it's in very early stages, but that's exciting. And finally, Trust by Hernan Diaz. It's going to be a mini-series on HBO starring Kate Winslet. Absolutely. I'm truly excited for this one. There's no release date on this yet. There is a director attached, and that's Todd Haynes, which, looking through his IMDb catalog, he did Carol, May, December, Enlightened, Mildred Pierce. It seems like he's the right person to make a series that a misunderstood woman is at the heart of. Okay, so here's my push for you to read all these books before their adaptations come out. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.